I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say if suing Cruel World Happy Mine would be a worthwhile endeavor, but I think she makes a good case for Ethan Klein to at least consider it. Cruel World Happy Mine created the most recent smear video against H3, primarily using the opinions of random Redditors as fact rather than taking the time to research the topic for herself. There's a difference between sourcing a video from a Snark page and using random commentary you found as truth. First, I want to show how she frames H3 and the trajectory of their career.
The host of the podcast starts acting out of character, focusing on dark corners of society, dark corners of the internet. Suddenly, the host thinks that everyone is against them, even you, the viewer. What was supposed to be your comfort podcast, the place you go after a long day, the place you went to relax, turned into a toxic war zone, where the host is even launching campaigns against other people that you enjoy watching. You feel like you need to pick a side. The world is getting darker and darker every day, swallowing up your favorite content creator, and before you know it, you no longer recognize them. By 2025, most of the H3 fans have abandoned them, with only a small group of very fervent supporters left behind. Why did this happen? The very machine or monster that Ethan built, off of commenting on the flaws of other creators, began to eat him alive. And for many, the image that they had of Ethan had completely shattered, with no chance of ever repairing. For now, Ethan is still making content, searching for an audience who aligns with him, but no self-reflection seems to be being done. The mask began slipping, it seems. The old Ethan, whose audience forgot existed in the first place, was making a return.
Madison establishes her entire 3-hour video on a foundation of misinformation and lies, framing Ethan and Hila as grifters whose masks have slipped. People who don't take accountability, admit fault, or grow. With how often Ethan is live, you can watch his personal growth occur in real time over the course of a couple of years. So I want to show a series of clips that I believe at least puts a crack in the foundation of her video. Ethan doesn't shy away from his past mistakes. He will address controversies head-on, regardless of how old they are or how many times he has already addressed it.
Ian, or iDubbbz, would post a video apologizing for his past content. He admitted that he cultivated an audience who believed that this type of dialogue was acceptable.
I was saying slurs and I was trying to justify it all. A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anissa has received over the years. I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. That's the culture that I cultivated. And I, didn't do anything to change that.
His behavior also attracted racist people who could use that dialogue and pass it off as just edgy humor. Yet Ethan, on the other hand, largely ignores this part of his past.
I feel like we squashed it off here, and I hope there's no hard feelings.
No, there's no hard feelings. I never did. I like you. I think you're funny. I think you're talented, and I think you have a bright future.
That means a lot. That means a lot.
Yeah, but just so you know, like when I said the N-word, that was wrong, right? Like I apologize for that, and I've learned a lot, and that's something that I would never do now. And I hope you know that about the Nazi salute as well. Maturity in terms of like when I fuck up, I'm not getting defensive, and I'm like understanding and confronting what I've done. And you remember, Dan, there was times when because you've been with us so long, where I would get into shit, and I usually got defensive, and then it would make everything worse. I don't know if you remember that stuff like that.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. As you were saying that, I was raising my eyebrow a little bit about because just on the front end of getting into the shit in the first place.
That's the problem.
Right. But I agree that the aftermath and the acceptance of fault and sort of the reflection part has massively improved over the years.
Yes.
You've definitely grown up on that.
Okay, good. Thank you for co-signing that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that sort of was the beginning of you sort of trying to reanalyze like who is in my audience, who am I catering to, who am I making content for, and because your past racist remarks and stuff like that was the criticism, is like, oh, you do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you
hard,
know what I mean?
it's yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's fair, right?
Right.
That was fair at the time.
Yeah, because you start to think like, oh, but the context was different.
Exactly.
Right.
Because you go, well, I'm not racist, but then you think and you're like, well, you can do racist things, you can say racist things, and it doesn't necessarily make you a hateful racist person. But
but it's
Let's
still,
just be honest. You know,
they're
it's hard.
rooted in racism.
It's hard to be honest with yourself with something like that. You know, it's painful.
Yay.
Again, it's fine. I'm not hiding. The one thing I can do about this whole thing is the N-word thing is never hiding from it and always embracing that what I did was wrong and apologizing for it. And I appreciate every time Hassan brings it up on the stream. It's great. The N-word. It's great for me.
Listen, at a certain point, when you've pushed every button, pulled every lever, and nothing's working, when you've tried your best to give good faith feedback, and you think that something is that important to you, like you have, in my opinion, a moral obligation, and what I see as a moral obligation, to pull whatever lever you can. And I am not too fucking proud, and I am not above, I don't give a shit, right? Like, if you've done something dumb enough that you can get easily fucked by an email to the sponsors, that's something you have to reckon and deal with. I've been dealing with that my whole fucking career, okay?
I wasn't going to say it.
No, I am. I'm not. I don't hide from it. Everybody knows that.
Right.
I've been dealing with it for my whole fucking career, okay? And it's something you got to reckon with. It's something you got to deal with. But, like, be accountable, man. And, I have become accountable for a lot of things that people always send to the sponsors. And it's something you deal with. That's just life.
Even his possible blackface. His viewers even enable this behavior, claim those images are taken out of context, and stem from the clients doing spray tans and charcoal face masks, even though the title of their YouTube video is called The Black Challenge.
And again, this is one of the constant refrains that they go, oh, he did blackface. It was it's still up, totally on.
It was a video. I did some videos together with Ethan on the Ethan and Hila channel a while ago.
Here's the thumbnail.
And I had like this series where I would buy a bunch of products of one color. So there was like the gold challenge, and we did all kinds of gold products.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then there was the black challenge. This is a mask. It's a face mask
I think.
and teeth whitening. And we were just going through a bunch of products that were black.
Oh, okay. You see the thumbnail? I'm showing my black teeth.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to give you an idea of what they're saying is racist, is a 3.2 million view, 100,000 likes.
Nice.
Like, nobody thought this was racist. Everybody knew at the time it wasn't racist. We all know it wasn't racist. Welcome back to another very special episode of Ethan and Hila. Hila's been scheming on a new project. We have black water.
Black
we have this
water.
water product called Black Project. Anyway.
I'm sensing a theme.
It seems like the H3 podcast started as a fun and casual show, but over time, along with the success of the show, Ethan began to view himself as a serious podcaster. He essentially ripped himself away from his roots.
Listen, I'm not going to say I'm the best podcaster in the world. I am number 12, actually. But that's kind of a
I'd say
soft
you were.
start.
I'd say you are.
Thanks, Zach.
Oh, top of the morning to you, laddies.
The price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. I feel like Jesus Christ.
Now, this video was one egregious lie after another, so I want to focus on moments that stood out to me. The categories I've created to organize the slander are pedophile accusations, being a creep towards women, Trisha Paytas, Hassan and Company, and the H3 Snark Reddit. The juxtaposition of Madison's clips alongside the ones she chose to exclude from H3 helped to highlight the flaws of her statements. To kick it off, I'll start with the one that gave me the motivation to create this video in the first place.
That Olivia officially quit the podcast due to Ethan's resurfaced Reddit account called Pedo Troll. Due to a data breach, highlighted accounts believed to belong to Ethan Klein, including a Reddit profile named Pedo Troll. The account was created more than a decade ago and consistently spoke about minors inappropriately while promoting the H3H3 YouTube channel. What's disturbing about the Reddit posts is that they often reference specific instances, which led many to speculate on whether or not Ethan had actually done these acts. Ethan allegedly made frequent posts on that Reddit account about sexually harassing children. He said that monsters shouldn't be judged by others. He gave advice to others, saying it was better to get involved with children outside the family. Ethan replied under a post saying that there's sexual tension between an uncle and his nephew, saying it's inevitable. When all of this resurfaced, instead of denying that it was his account, Ethan immediately admitted to having been the person behind the account.
If you guys know, I'm an extremely honest person to a fault.
I'm honest about everything. But like, for example, this old Reddit account, right? The first day it came out, I was like, yeah, it's me. So what? Who gives a so what? Suck it. Because the thing is, if you deny it,
If
you're
you
gonna
try lying, yeah, you're up against the whole internet.
you're gonna get caught, forced into the corner, and you're gonna look dumber and stupider and more pathetic. Also, if you did it, just own it. You know what I mean? If you
it's
did
hard.
it,
It's embarrassing. It's hard.
it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't like people saying like these weird ass 15-year-old dumb jokes that I used to make on Reddit. I ultimately don't really care about it that much though. But I've done stuff that I am horrified by and embarrassed by that. But you gotta admit it. You gotta own it. That's my policy anyways. You know what I mean?
While in the past, I would certainly commend Hila for having a very creative style. Often, some of the outfit ensembles that Hila chooses feels very childlike, with also Teddy Fresh having a little teddy bear as a logo. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. Ethan accuses a lot of people of being pedophiles and makes a lot of jokes about pedophiles. Hila dresses kind of childlike with a little teddy bear for her fashion brand. I find all of that interesting. It reminds me of when I was really young and naive and had people who I thought were guy friends that would make a lot of sexual jokes towards me, and then they would kind of nudge me and say, it's just a joke, we're just joking around, and then I would always be shocked and disappointed when some time would pass and they would try to make a pass at me. Over time, when I became less naive, I realized that those jokes weren't really jokes at all, that they actually meant what they said the entire time.
So wearing pastels and liking teddy bears is enough to speculate on whether or not someone is a pedophile, while it appears you also wear pastels and enjoy plushies. I just think it's interesting.
Feminism is a problem. But here's where things get very dark. The strange videos that Ethan and Hila have taken part in aren't only offensive, they're extremely disturbing. And I would say, personally, they go far beyond what even Leafy and PewDiePie have posted. The very people Ethan has called out for being wrong in videos they've posted. I think his content has gone far beyond that. You've been warned for the content that I'm about to show you, and how it completely shatters the image that Ethan and Hila have spent crafting online. The image of being advocates on the side of creators, of people. Ethan Klein sexualizes and mocks Boston Marathon bombing survivor in a deleted video, then fantasizes about orally R-wording her. Ethan Klein was 28 years old when they filmed this video. It was recorded by Hila Klein, the owner of Teddy Fresh. Keep that in mind. Ethan and Hila were married, and Hila was filming this video that you're about to watch. Ethan comments on this Boston Marathon bombing survivor. The purpose of that video was for Ethan Klein to mock the girl for making a political statement by doing a photo shoot with "You can scar me, but you can't stop me" written on her stomach and showing her scars. Why? Ethan suggests this is inconsiderate because others actually died from the bombs. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The girl's name is Sydney Corcoran. Her mother lost both her legs. She was 17 years old at the time of the bombing and 18 years old in the photo. That photo was part of a photo shoot where survivors returned to Boston to symbolically finally cross the finish line 1 year after the bombings. This video, of course, will be heavily censored for the sake of the viewers, but also, most importantly, for the sake of the bombing victim.
Thanks for joining me on Edgy Material Warning number 3. You can scar me, but you can't stop me. Now that is interesting and very deep and poetic, but what's even more interesting is if we just go a couple pixels down. Boom. That's some good toe, girl. Yeah. Let me get down with that shit. I can smell it from here. Pretty brutal scars. Nothing that a heavy night of f***ing won't incur, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, ignoring the camel, that fat, juicy, juvenile, but won't stop that shit, boy. Yeah. Ignoring that. By the way, I didn't know if you guys saw, but you can see her, and this makes it a much more powerful image. She got a nice smug face. Good to I would ram my... I hope she can keep that smug smile for me that whole time, you know what I mean? Big up to her for being brave, getting out here and making this very powerful political statement about her proximity to the bomb being less close than all the other ones who died. You can scar her, but you can't stop her, guys. And never forget, Boston bombing, 2013, guys. Never forget.
here's what the video was really about. The video was a stupid, terrible joke to start with. It was 12 years ago, and it was mocking the kinds of people who post disgusting stuff like that in a specific subreddit. I believe it's called Bravery Jerk. Okay, yeah, it's this creepy subreddit where people post about fucked up things that they might masturbate to. Okay? This was back when being an edgelord was really cool. But even then, Ethan was memeing on them. The video itself was made specifically to post on this subreddit. Because specifically of how fucked up something like that would be. It was not done out of like genuine arousal. It was done specifically to make fun of a rotted corner of Reddit. So again, I'm not going to say that this is another example of y'all not understanding what a joke is, because maybe some of you really don't know, but this was irony. That he made this video as irony. And yes, it was crazy dark irony, right? It's a video he would never in a million years make today. And a huge reason of that is because none of us would fucking let him as his fans.
That personally causes me to lose all sympathy for the two of them whatsoever. Ethan has continually, over the years, said incredibly creepy things when it comes to women. Like when he said on the H3 podcast in front of Joji and Post Malone that women are meant to be conquered. Joji's reaction says it all.
Our Neanderthal cousins were like crazy. So there's definitely something like in us to like conquer. Men want to like conquer. Right. So it's, you know, women are in a nature setting like to be conquered.
Maybe we do have a problem with accountability culture, not in the ways in which we hold other people accountable, but in the ways that we're not able to hold ourselves accountable, hold a mirror up to ourselves, grow as individuals, understand where we went wrong, change, move forward, try to do better. When you point the finger, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Now, I've got 2 worst moments to share with you guys.
These are selected by you?
These are selected by me, okay? Now, first of all, worst moment, we go way, way back to our first live episode. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. Joji memed on me so badly. The way this was framed up just set me up and knocked me down. We were like hours in. I was so drunk at this time. We were just chit-chatting. I think we were talking about how, like, in the animal kingdom, like, look at Shredder. He's a serial rapist.
Yeah.
Okay? Our dog Shredder goes to the dog park. No, seriously. He goes out there and he'll fuck anything that moves. He doesn't ask for consent.
He'll try.
And my only point is that back in the day, human beings like Neanderthals or whatever earlier form, even apes, they're out there. I don't know that they fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Right? I'll say, okay, does that make sense?
That's fair.
Either way, it was just like nothing researched, just some stupid like conversation.
Right, which is always what people get upset about in this podcast.
Cutie Cinderella was one of the women who was deepfaked, and she responded to the situation on Twitter or X, writing, "I want to scream. Stop. Everybody effing stop. Stop. Stop spreading it. Stop advertising it. Stop. Being seen against your will should not be a part of this job." Hours after Atriox's apology, Cutie Cinderella went live on her Twitch channel. She addressed the situation, opening up about the negative emotional impact the site was taking on her mental health, before vowing to sue the founder of the deepfake website. Ethan reacted to Cutie's statement about the website during an episode of the H3 podcast. During the stream, Ethan told Zach, one of his crew members, to play a slowed down version of Nat King Cole's Christmas song. When this song played, it caused Ethan to burst into laughter during Cutie's emotional stream.
Why? Why? What is going on with you?
Sorry, don't mind me.
If you are able to look at women
who are not selling themselves or benefiting off of
Why?
being seen sexually. It's because he laughed at the AI porn and then he lost a bunch of sponsors.
Oh, so it wasn't
But
you.
he wasn't laughing at me. He was laughing at a sound bit. For the record, like, it's fine. It's just, but it's funny that he.
I didn't know he lost sponsors because of that.
But then he's saying that because Sam, one of mine and Sam's first reactions was her like bringing that up and was like, "Hey, like, I'm sorry you went through that." So it's funny the domino effect, but.
Yeah.
No, he's been very supportive. I mean, I think in this industry, sometimes there's a lot of animosity between like even just editors. Like sometimes people are shady and they're like yoink.
Ethan was met with immediate criticism from his own crew, including Sam, who was visibly upset. After a moment passed, he apologized for laughing and claimed that he supported QT amid the ongoing situation. Still, the clip went viral on social media, prompting Ethan to issue a full apology to QT Cinderella.
It's weird. Like, I don't know why. Like, obviously, there's something a little bit off about me, right? Because I always find myself in these situations where I am doing and saying impulsive things that I regret.
Ethan wrapped up his apology by offering to get QT in contact with his own legal counsel.
If she needs resources, I would love to donate, even if she's open to that, to fund this kind of thing. I strongly believe that this whole deepfake thing is like super insane. That, you know, and most of all, though, I apologize. After it happened, I immediately went to Twitter and apologized to QT. She doesn't have to accept my apology. I don't know if she accepts my apology. But I did apologize to her immediately as the show ended. And I also apologized to Ludwig, even though it didn't, you know what I mean? I felt like apologizing to both of them because I respect them both, you know what I mean? And I feel bad that I look like such a psycho, a mean-spirited psycho is what I looked like. A lot of people are trying to give me an out.
He takes that 5%.
Trish receives a 45% cut of the show, while Ethan Klein receives an extra 5% that goes towards production costs. Now, first off, if the show is incredibly successful, incredibly successful, and all you're doing is paying your employees a base salary, putting up a fabric backdrop, a basic table and mics, you know, that 5% can get pretty chunky if your podcast is getting tens of millions of views, incredible success. That 5% can really numerically change quite a bit. Do your employees get a raise because of that 5% production cost?
Yes.
Are you investing?
Wait. Let me address that one.
What?
She just asked, did your employees get a raise because of that? Yes. Yeah, I got a really fat raise when Frenemies took off. Yes.
Are you investing a ton into production costs, or are you taking whatever isn't allocated to employees to the set for yourself?
Because I've gone so far out of my way to be as transparent as possible. I show her literally everything. I have our CPA preparing a monthly report itemizing literally everything. We pay for all of that. We do all of that. We work on Sundays to prep the show. And she's complaining that 5%, she's apparently like, I want to say and how that 5% is spent. The 5% is already spent on everything I just said. There is no production company in the world that would do all that for 5%. More like 50% or even more. The 5% is a family rate. It's literally nothing. It might not even be covering our costs, to be honest with you.
She added that she has a lot of anger in her heart towards Ethan, but praised the existing H3 podcast crew and Hila. Many people felt, after Frenemies ended, that Ethan was in the right in the situation. Trisha was now a full-blown enemy, even though she went from dating to marrying Hila's brother, building a family, becoming, in a literal sense, a part of Ethan and Hila's family.
And I don't know why people always think that I'm not happy for her one way or the other. Like, other than like when we first broke up, there was like a lot of drama, but like I feel like I've been nothing but supportive of her and wishing her well pretty much like since like 3 months after our breakup. And I would be friends with her again so fast if it wasn't for Moses is just is a creep and a scumbag. That's the only problem. Her husband, my brother-in-law, Hila's brother. I value her friendship, and I cherish the time we did the show together. I've said that. How many times do I need to say that?
Yeah, no, we get it. We get it. I feel the same way. Other than like 2 days of the entire experience, it was delightful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's Moses who's whispering in her ear like worm tongue from Lord of the Rings.
That's why people like me now, is because of Frenemies. So like, this is, no matter where I go, I'll remember where I came from.
You would leave me. Remember where? Yeah, you go. That's for you. That's for you now. Yeah, you got to remember where you came from. This is when you take me most seriously. I love that she brought like the costume and the dramatics.
You love to dress up.
I did, man.
You're a dress-up king for sure.
My boys, they love playing with their friends, and their best friends is 2 girls.
Interesting.
And they love playing with them. They have so much fun, and that's Teddy's cousin, man. He doesn't have any other cousins.
Wow, yeah.
That's his cousin, his first cousin.
But at least initially, many thought that Ethan was in the right. Though, of course, there's always nuance to any situation. The audience couldn't quite see the pattern yet of how often Ethan's friends turned into his enemies, and he would frequently pray for their downfall.
Oh, just Trish is on here. Good for her. 29.
Oh, wow. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
She's like kind of solo.
Trisha is an incredible entertainer. She is a natural.
Yeah, I agree.
But you are not. Just let her shine. You don't need to be involved in everything, bro.
Well, it was easy for Ethan and the general public to deflect blame onto Trisha and call her crazy for the downfall, for the fallout of Frenemies. Well, at this point, it's clear that Ethan is the one to blame for the ways that his friendships and business relationships will often completely blow up in his face.
This is like when Moses' DMs got leaked about Trisha.
When he was chatting
Calling her
other
fat,
girls,
saying her vagina stunk.
Yeah.
And that he was just with her for money.
Oh,
And that he wanted to give her a baby so that he could get her money.
Yep.
He said all that.
I remember.
Yeah, and then he also asked me to say something nice about him on the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is just
That's
something
it,
that I
yeah.
recall in my
I
personal
understand.
life.
I see the.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
Someone who comes into play around this time in Ethan's online career is the controversial streamer Destiny, a liberal streamer who advocates for social democratic policies and aligns more with Ethan's beliefs, yet has been essentially fully deplatformed online on various social media platforms.
I saw people point this out, and I think it's a fair point. In this conversation, only one of you was close friends with Destiny, and it isn't you.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird thing to try and throw at you.
I'm just so confused by it. I don't know him. I literally don't know him.
Right.
If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time.
First of all, strange comment. Let's just reflect on that.
And Destiny and Ethan had seemingly formed a friendship in recent years, notably bonding over their mutual hatred towards Hassan Piker.
Why don't you talk to Hassan about this privately? I did text him a couple of weeks ago after I saw the clip of him saying that he had no problem with Hezbollah. I texted him that I thought it was pretty disappointing and disturbing the way that he was hyping up Hezbollah. Granted, when I texted him that, I said, you don't have to respond to me. I totally understand because it's unsolicited, criticism. I get it. But I was kind of hoping to open the door to a more personal conversation. He did not reply, which I took as basically just like we're on the opposite sides of this issue and talking isn't going to really help, which I get. And I agree. That's probably where we're at, unfortunately. And in fact, we haven't spoken in a few months. We've spoken very little since the show ended. Obviously, this is what I don't like. I've been taking these stupid little pot shots at him and Instagram stories and stuff. Something happened over the past few days that really fucking set me off and made me get kind of just like determined to finally just do this once and for all. So obviously things have gotten more strained between us as time has gone by. And after some recent events, which I'll get into, I find it impossible not to say anything. I don't want people don't need to speculate about our relationship, about our opinions about each other. I just want to address it now openly, bluntly. As a person, as a friend, I respect Hassan. I don't think you need to choose between us. It's not like that. In fact, it's not personal at all. I am seeing a concerning rise in anti-Semitism and a normalization of it in a way that I don't think Hassan is anti-Semitic, but I do think that stuff he does contributes to it. But at the moment, he is like the lead. He's kind of like the most prominent voice on this issue. So it's not personal. It's literally just addressing where this is all coming from. I hear all the time. In fact, this was the top comment on a thread on our subreddit, is that with all the terrible things happening in Gaza, I can't bring myself to care about anti-Semitism. Which I understand the sentiment, right? There are terrible things happening in Gaza. However, these are the people who are nonstop trying to convince everybody that Zionism is not Judaism and convince themselves that we don't hate Jews, we just hate Zionists. So when I complain about anti-Semitism, why is it that it always goes back to Israel? It seems that they're the ones that are confused about Zionism and Judaism. Because again, if I'm complaining about anti-Semitism, what does that have to do with Gaza, or what does that have to do with Gaza? Now, I felt I did a pretty good job of highlighting how Hassan and other members of his community, streamers, have enabled anti-Semitism to be commonplace on Twitch. And essentially, they're obviously not very receptive on them. In fact, Hassan, I'm sad to say, did not watch he didn't watch a single point I made. Instead, he took to saying that I'm crazy, accusing me of hallucinating, saying I made a whole episode calling him anti-Semitic, which I never even called him anti-Semitic, if I'm being honest. I said I don't think he is. And honestly, gaslighting me and anyone else who cares about this, instead of responding to a single point. You know, he sets up these caricatures of points without actually looking at the question. I think it would be nice if he went through that at least a little bit.
Ethan Klein, no more. And Destiny have been on a crusade to try to ban Hassan from Twitch, which is so insane on so many levels. But the reason why they're doing it really is because he's Muslim.
Okay.
That's crazy.
We can all agree this is an insane statement, right? Well, then I have a fucking interesting question for you all, my friend. Why is it that Hassan Piker fucking reshared this on TikTok? This motherfucker retweeted a fucking video saying the reason I hate him is because he's Muslim.
Due to Ethan's obsession with Hassan Piker, he posted a video titled Content Nuke Hassan Piker, seemingly to bait Hassan into reacting to the content so that he could sue Hassan for copyright infringement. But Hassan did not fully react to the content.
Hassan, are you going to be watching Ethan's Content Nuke? The answer is, of course not.
Instead, 3 other content creators, Frogan, Casey Tron, and Denims, created content surrounding the content nuke.
By the way, the reason I'm not suing Hassan, I'll say this because I see this is already a message too that's dumb. I was never planning on suing Hassan. This was not a trap for Hassan. I asked him to react to it. I would never sue someone if I asked them, because asking someone to watch your content is essentially granting a license. Mm-hmm. So my intention was never to sue Hassan. And
also, even if you did,
I would not win.
He spent 12 hours watching 45 minutes. I think that's fair use. So I think he more than cleared that bar.
Exactly. So not only was this not a trap because I gave him a license by asking him, but also Hassan in this case offers the best example of what fair use is.
Ethan rubbed people the wrong way on a follow-up episode of the H3 podcast when he called out a Muslim woman named Frogan who had close ties to Hassan and supported Palestine.
This girl Frogan.
Me and Lena are friends with her.
I didn't like the tweet she was making. I thought they were like leaning too much towards pro-Hamas, but like she got to turn it into this whole big thing that turns into a drama that's now being posted all over the internet. That face when one of your favorite content creators unfollows you for being pro-Palestine.
Ethan victimized himself for a woman tweeting when thousands were dying.
I don't know if this is I guess this is turning into a drama that I can talk about. Is that this girl Frogan, who, here, let me see.
Frogan.
Oh, Frogan? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know how to say her name. I just followed her because, you know, there was a lot of mutuals that were following her, and she seemed like a nice person, so that's why I followed her.
She was a mod for Hassan, and me and Lena are friends with her as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she seems like a nice person, but like most things, or like some people I'm seeing, are just really leaving their humanity at the door when it comes to what's happening. Or I just pulled up on Twitter. I mean, this started when I just quietly unfollowed her, okay? I didn't like the tweet she was making. I thought they were like leaning too much towards pro-Hamas, and I just didn't like it. I didn't want to see it. And so I fucking quietly unfollowed her. I didn't make a big deal. I didn't say anything. But like, she got to turn it into this whole big thing that turns into a drama that's now being posted all over the internet. I'm sorry, it's a Twitter follow. It's not that serious, okay? First of all, and foremost. She said, oh, here, let me just check my Twitter, because oh, God. I'm not, and by the way, people are probably saying horrible things about her, too, which is why I don't want to show this general spray of horrible shit that people are saying. I saw this. That face when one of your favorite content creators unfollows you for being pro-Palestine. Like, first of all, the framing of that is fucked up, okay? Let's not even go there. Second of all, thank you for saying I'm your favorite content creator. I mean, that's flattering. You know, we appreciate all the audience members, and you know, I'm flattered by that. But saying you don't even know why I unfollowed you. You don't know. You don't have no information. We've never even talked. And so people start somehow. Here, this is how people figured out that it was me. Once again, I saw that, and I wasn't going to say anything. It's like, whatever, fine. You know what I mean? So I guess this from her Discord got leaked. She said, Ethan Klein unfollowed Frogan. This is from our subreddit, I think. Ethan Prob was like, this damn Arab supports Hamas. That's not funny. That's not funny at all. Like, the whole framing of this is really fucking cruel. Ethan, I'll support the IDF. Refollow me. I don't support the IDF either. It's not funny. So that's the framing of it. And then the reason I unfollowed her, because apparently she wants to know, is because of this tweet specifically and a few others, but this is the one that I was like, I don't want to see this anymore. She said, leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America. But as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. Now, this, to me, I'm interpreting this as, let me read what I wrote. I don't want to say anything out of pocket, but I don't fucking like that. People are talking about me unfollowing Frogan, so I'll explain why, since she wants to talk about murdering children and burning families alive in their safe houses is not a revolution, it's a massacre. And if you think that's what revolution is supposed to look like, I'm terrified for your idea of an American revolution. But as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. She's implying that what Hamas is doing is right. I mean, she's basically all but saying it. She's saying, as soon as a revolution happens in the Middle East, then all of a sudden what they're doing is wrong. She's saying, in her opinion, that what they're doing is right because it's a revolution. And what she's talking about is Hamas. It's up to 1,500 people, innocent civilians, not settlers, not combatants, children, babies, elderly. People were viciously and, you know, it was just wanton, blatant, full-blown murder, massacre, depravity. Okay? And if you think that that's right, then I don't fucking want to know you. They're burning families alive in their safe houses, killing babies. Sorry, I don't want to fucking know you. And I think it's disgusting what you said, and I think shame on you. That's what I honestly think, you know. And I'm going to sit here till I'm blue in the fucking face talking about how the IDF is a genocidal criminal institution, that Netanyahu should be tried for war crimes. He should immediately resign. I can tell you that the West Bank settlements are basically an act of war. And I don't really believe even that settlers are civilians in the same way that the people who were murdered are. I can tell you that what Israel's doing in Gaza is as evil as it can be, as evil can be. Just what they're now doing in response to this, which is blowing up, leveling neighborhoods, cutting off water, power, food. I can say that till I'm blue in the fucking face. So I don't want to hear any goddamn person saying that I'm a Zionist, which, by the way, is a dog whistle for anti-Semitism. I'm not a Zionist. The only reason people call me a Zionist is because I'm Jewish. So explain to me how that's not anti-Semitic. Not a Zionist. Never talked about Zionism. Never talked about Israel having a God-given right to exist, or whatever the fuck Zionists, whatever they think Zionism is, or whatever it means. So I'm sorry. You know what I mean? If you can't acknowledge the horrors that are befalling both sides, then whatever peace you're fighting for is a joke. Frogan says, I did not say murdering children and burning families alive is a revolution. Well, you did say that. I mean, what just stand behind what you're saying. Leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America. But as soon as it happens in the Middle East, all of a sudden what they're doing is wrong. I mean, you're saying that it's right. But okay, let me read her whole thing. Of course, you didn't say that explicitly, but like, let's be real. Is a tactic Israel specialized in for 7 years. So here comes the thing about like, I refuse to acknowledge Israelis' suffering because I can only see past. I only care about only care about Palestinians suffering. I don't care about anything that has to do with Israel. And once again, the path to peace is paved here by the enlightened Frogan. But I haven't seen your post about their murders. Again, it's like, how much more can I say it? Okay, so she says, I haven't seen you talking about Palestinian murders. Well, I guess you haven't seen it, but you haven't looked real fucking hard then. Or you haven't even tried, because I have been saying it for a long ass time. And AB, if you can do me a favor and link the statement I put out about when the last time there was a huge confrontation when the IDF blew up a residential building and killed a bunch of journalists and people. What I said about that, and I'll read it again for you, Frogan, because again, you haven't seen me talking about it. Doesn't mean that I haven't, actually. But what I am interpreting is that you don't care about Israeli suffering. You just want to talk about Palestinian suffering. Your first post here in the past week is to call what? Your first post here in the past week is to call me out for supporting Palestinians fighting back. Again, she's supporting Hamas. Hamas murdered. She's actually proving my point even more explicitly. That's crazy. Palestinians fighting back. First of all, what a disservice you're doing to Palestinians. Palestinians are not fucking Hamas. I would venture to guess the vast majority of them are peace-loving people that just want to live in safety and don't want to live in fear. But no, you're saying Palestinians are fighting back, Hamas. What is revolution to you if not overthrowing the prison guards that keep 2 million people from leaving? What prison guards were killed? The families? Were the kids that were killed prison guards? Are you sure about this statement, Frogan? Which prison guards did they murder? The kids? The elderly? The family that was burned alive? The women that were raped? That's the revolution. Okay. Well, let me know what you're planning for the revolution here, because I do not want to I want to make sure that I'm standing against that. She goes, that keeps 2 million people from leaving, shelling their homes, wanton, only killing civilians, mostly children, for the past 70 years to the approval of the international community. The American Revolution was fought over for less than the unrelenting massacre of their people. So again, she has not a single fucking atom of empathy, not a single shred for the mass murder of children. This is the last time I ever spoke on Israel. I posted on Twitter. I posted on Instagram. I read it on the show. The Israel government is making me sick. Even if Hamas is operating out of civilian buildings, it doesn't justify the total destruction of that building. It's inhumane. Netanyahu is a piece of shit warmonger and needs to go. As a dual citizen, I love Israel and the Israeli people. They deserve a government that actually believes in peace and not force and violence. The ultra-right Jewish settlers are among the greatest provocateurs in the world. They're shameless, hateful, fueled by religious zeal, and enabled by the Israeli government. I wish the settling and repossession of Palestinian land would stop. I wish the bombing in Gaza would stop. Gazans deserve to live in a life free of fear. And for all the crimes Hamas has committed, we must always remember that they are not Palestine, which somehow you don't seem to understand either. The Israeli government holds all of the power, and it's on them to stop the violence and show a true willingness to peace. That's the last time I talked about fucking Israel. Do you live in America, Frogan? Because I hate to say it, but if the citizens of a country are guilty for the crimes of their government, which you seem to think that all Israelis are, people that were born in Israel, did not choose to be in Israel, they don't choose to join the IDF. It's mandatory conscription, okay? She continues, it goes without saying murdering civilians is horrible. It doesn't go without saying, actually. It doesn't. It's at the heart of my criticism against Israel. Yeah, I understand that. It's at the heart of my criticism against Israel, too. It's disingenuous to assume it wouldn't apply to the murder of Israeli citizens, too. Doesn't go without being said, actually. Not at all. I mean, you basically just walked up to justifying it here. Frogan, I apologize to. Is that how you say it?
Morgan Frogan. Frogan is a foot soldier and has been been a longtime fan of yours. There are going to be other foot soldiers who are also of a Muslim background that may have said things that would upset you.
Right.
And that's something to consider when reacting to them.
You're right. I think
that's what I was trying to say when on the phone.
Less reactive, more charitable, and understanding. Their reasonable and warranted anger at Israel. Yeah, I stopped unfollowing people because it's so dramatic. It's literally caused several times. I want to quietly unfollow someone, and it's caused drama, like what happened with Frogan.
Yeah.
What happened with it happened a few years ago. I unfollowed some people. I was just over their content and seeing them on timeline, and it turns into saying, "Oh, Ethan just unfollowed me." It's like, oh my god, dude. So I can't unfollow it. I just got to mute them.
Knowing what we know about Ethan's past, this podcast doesn't align with everything Ethan once stood for, and he didn't have expertise in it. While Ethan and many on the left often critique those on the right for being political grifters, creating content that they don't fully believe in to simply profit off of what the left essentially believe to be a global audience, well, it seems from all the evidence presented that Ethan was doing the exact same thing.
What is happening in Gaza is disgusting. And it needs to stop immediately. And I put my money where my mouth is, okay? I donated $6,500 to the Gazan fund to help them, to help the civilians there. But yeah, free Palestine. I support Palestine as well. And again, I'm saying that I support Palestine. There's no other way for me to fucking, I don't know how more I can express that. Now, I'm free Palestine. And I'm free Palestine too, right? And I don't know how much more I can fucking say that I support Palestine and Palestinian people in the most extreme, goddamn way possible. How much more can I say it? You guys are talking about. I don't know why you want to protest my show, Free Palestine. I'm with you, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Why are you targeting my show for that purpose? Do I need to get free Palestine tattooed on my forehead? What do you want me to do so that you'll listen to what I'm saying? I think this was when the IDF blew up some apartment building or some fucking horrific shit in Gaza a few years ago. I said the Israeli government's making me sick. Even if Hamas is operating as civilian buildings, it doesn't justify the total destruction of that building. It's inhumane. Netanyahu's a piece of shit warmonger. It needs to go. As a dual citizen, I love Israel and the Israeli people. They deserve a government that actually believes in peace and not force and violence. The ultra-right Jewish settlers are among the greatest provocateurs in the world. They are shameless, hateful, fueled by religious zeal, and enabled by the Israeli government. I wish the settling and repositioning of Palestinian land would stop. I wish the bombing in Gaza would stop. Gazans deserve to live a life free of fear. For all the crimes Hamas has committed, we must always remember that they are not Palestine. The Israeli government holds all the power and is on them to stop the violence and show a true willingness for peace. Okay. Peace to Gaza. We love Gaza. We love the Palestinian people. freedom, end to the genocide happening by settler fucking lunatics, genocidal freaks. And Bibi and Netanyahu, Bibi is a war criminal. He should be in jail.
So, Ethan's constant self-pity, claiming he's being attacked online, while having little pity for those who are being literally wiped off the earth, well, started to look ridiculous.
I saw videos of Palestinian dads holding his dead, like, 5-year-old daughter. I mean, and there was another one that, like, as a father, it's even hard to talk about. This dude was holding his infant. It was like a year old. And he was like patting her on the back and saying like his final goodbye. I mean, he's holding her like she's alive, like he's just burping her or something. I didn't expect to get emotional about that, but like, I'm a new dad and that shit really fucks me up. And I hate to see it. It's not right. I think people in Israel that support the government and the government need to watch that shit.
Unable to see the reasons for why, this only fueled Ethan's victim complex and fears of anti-Semitism, not realizing that it was the lack of empathy and compassion while expecting others to hold an endless well of empathy and compassion for himself that became draining for many. Yet Ethan, surprisingly during this time, exhibited his own version of anti-Semitism on the people living in Israel. Though now Ethan is the first to claim that others are anti-Semites, in the past it seems Ethan would often say blatantly offensive things, yet he believed them to just be a joke.
I could take these guys a little bit more seriously. Like these double curls.
Yeah, that is disgusting. But also, come on, wearing a full suit in the summer. But they stink the whole place for everyone.
Stink suit. Here we got one driving a car. Careful, everybody. We'll get some good footage, hopefully, of these goofy ass rat tail motherfuckers. The home of the Jew, the Jewy Jew. This is home of the super Jew, the dirty, grimy, jacket wearing Jews.
And to be honest, there's like stinky suit wearing, like, bro, you have to be very generous to fuck a Hasidic Jew, right?
How would I know?
Yeah. What the hell am I going to say to that?
I mean, well, I've lived in Israel for 5 years, so they wear the suits, they got the hats, they don't shower nearly enough. When it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, they rock the black suit. They stink, bro. They stink. And you know they don't shave. You've seen their face. Imagine what their dicks look like. Their faces look so gnarly. So imagine what these dudes look naked, and they're all pretty fat, too, because that wife's at home cooking. That's all she does.
Not all fat.
Well, a lot of the ones you see are pretty chunky.
Ethan and Hila Klein practicing anti-Semitism in Israel. 5,000 points? Are you serious? You guys care about a Jewish man in a video from 10 years ago making fun of some Orthodox Jews in Israel? Like, you actually fucking care about that? Of course not. Does anyone actually think I'm anti-Semitic for that? No. 5,400 likes.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
Well, it seems that the subreddit has remained fairly empathetic. Ethan's been convinced that they are essentially a hate page out to get him.
Never mind, like, that ICE has been going after love for a long time. These people...
Snark?
Not actually.
Snark.
That's not what... Sorry. Snark has been reporting him to ICE, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doxing the front of our office.
Mm-hmm.
They've been colluding to fucking call, justify, get CPS here. These people literally in their Discord, I have the receipts of it. It is undoubtedly them, are posting Google Street View of the front of our office.
Mm-hmm.
And Reddit has seen this. It's funny, Adam was like, oh, I got reported to ICE. Can you guys believe that? I made a video on fucking H3H3 Productions talking about how CPS got called, and I showed the receipts. I showed how the mods of that subreddit were doxing us.
Mm-hmm.
You think Reddit fucking said a single thing about that? No.
Feeding once again further and further into the ideas of me versus the world, rumination and paranoia. And it's justified Ethan's threats to dox the H3 subreddit.
It's gotten insane. Yeah, it's gotten insane. I can't wait till I find out who the snarkers are, because I'm gonna sue them. Get in line, baby.
I have a confession to make. The reason I make this video was because I was an H3 snarker last year. When I first started this YouTube channel, my second video ever on the channel was about Ethan Klein and building a bridge with lunatics like FuzzyTube and Mike Majak. During my research on the Ethan Klein video, I found out about the H3 Snark subreddit. At the time, I thought it was a fine community because whenever I pushed back on anything they said, I would have an honest conversation rather than get downvoted to hell. I even posted the video I was making on Ethan Klein to the Snark community, but I slowly started to get a sour taste in my mouth about H3 Snark when I saw multiple comments get upvoted where they made fun of Mega Awesome Nerd just for doing his job moderating for the H3 podcast, or snarkers posting screenshots of H3 fans while at the same time crying that Ethan Klein is doxing them because he looks at their Reddit profiles on his podcast. The moment I saw an H3 Snark moderator endorse the use of alternate YouTube sites in order to ruin the AdSense, the H3 podcast, was when I realized that this sub didn't care about criticizing Ethan Klein, but rather they literally wanted to ruin the life of Ethan and anyone close to him through whatever means. That's when I started to monitor the sub to make this video. I owe Ethan Klein an apology for even associating with a sub that spread misinformation for the sole purpose to ruin his life. I will also take down the video that I posted on the H3 Snark page. I hope that over time, people start to see how crazy the H3 Snark Reddit really is and to question the misinfo being spread instead of just following the group consensus like what's happening on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok right now on Ethan Klein. If the H3 podcast manages to see this video, I promise that I am an ally now. Ethan, you can even litigate me if you want, just in case you don't believe me. That's about it. See you.